What is up, my friends? Kevin Shirka here, the Indiana Jones nerd yet again, and it's a pretty special live stream for me today. Actually, today was my last day at work, and I'm now committing myself to this YouTube channel full time. So I'm really excited about that. Really happy to have this opportunity, and I want to give a big thank you to all of you guys for helping me grow this channel and make it what it is. Hi Tanner, how are you? Thanks for joining me. Hello, a few of you joining me here. Good to see you all. I hope you all had a chance to see the Indiana Jones 5 trailer, which leaked this week. If you're into that sort of thing, watching the trailer without watching a not very good shaky cam version of the trailer, and if any of you are looking for the to see the trailer, check out the description of this video, where I direct you to my Discord, and from there you can talk to some of the guys there, and they can hopefully get you a copy of that so you can see that, because it's a great trailer, and everybody, it's been overwhelmingly positively received. Yeah, a few people have said, oh, it looks like too like Disney-ish or too much like CGI and stuff, but I think everyone overall, pretty much everyone's been completely blown away by this thing, and it's man. Yeah, that was just so much fun the other day doing that live stream with some of you guys who were there. I had a great time, and I definitely want to do some of that live stream stuff a little bit more often. So here we are right now doing a live stream, and I see quite a few of you have joined in. So thanks so much for watching. We do have some news and some speculation and stuff to go over. Obviously, everybody was really excited after that trailer came out, and there's been a lot of speculation and a lot of a lot of people have been sending me stuff, so I wanted to go over some of these things because there's some great finds that you guys had, just looking at the clues that we have about this movie and connecting it to real life history. So I was really excited to share some of this info. So let me see. I'm going to... I don't know how I got to that picture. Okay. So... Oh, and I don't know if you noticed my new background I made. It was my last day at work, of course, at Staples. So I put up 15 of my favorite Indiana Jones posters and cover arts here. And I think it's a really cool background to go along with my Indiana Jones and James Bond 007 that Eugene Shin made for me. So, yeah, I think it looks pretty cool. Maybe my camera's not 100% in focus, but yeah, it'll do. But anyway, so as you can see here on your screen here, this is Atlas. And... as you guys saw in the trailer, you probably saw the picture of Atlas. Of course, Atlas is a... in Homer's Odyssey, Atlas... From what I hear, my friend Zhao was giving me some information, and he said Atlas seems to have been a marine creature... Yeah, marine creature who supported the pillars that held heaven and earth apart. And these were thought to rest in the sea immediately beyond the most western horizon. So you guys obviously saw Atlas in the trailer. There's a scene where Indy and Sonya are exploring, and you see a statue of Atlas holding the globe or the heavens or whatever, and they pull it down, maybe to create some passageway. We don't know exactly. So we have that, and then we also have all of these undersea shots in the trailer there, and it seems like this maybe ties in with Atlas. it says, Zhao told me he's a marine creature, and that these pillars that held heaven and earth were thought to rest in the sea. So that's pretty interesting. I wonder, because we know that we've seen scuba diving, and so I wonder if that's what they're looking for under the sea. Unless they're looking for a shipwreck, maybe something to do with the Antikythera device, which we're going to talk about a little bit later here tonight. So Atlas holds the heavens, which, aka the skies, and so and this is something Zhao was sharing with me, which is really interesting, and that maybe this is some sort of a connection with the moon landing, because that's the space. It's like the person who holds the heavens, like they have the advantage over the skies, over the heavens, and so maybe in some way this connects with between Atlas holding the heavens and the U.S. Trying to get the space superiority. So that could be a really interesting connection. I'd love to hear what some of you guys have to say about that. Let me just take a little break and see if you guys have anything to say here. Everyone's got some nice comments for me. Thank you so much, everybody. Okay. So my email address is kevinshirka@gmail.com, and I just posted that in the chat. Let's see. New footage of the gameplay, canceled gameplay of the 360 Staff of Kings is on YouTube. Yeah, actually, I guess I came across that just now as I was getting ready for this video, but I didn't really make preparations or look through the whole thing. So thanks for giving us that news. I wasn't sure if that was a recent leak or if that was something from long ago that I just had never come across. Shows Indy in a big temple being chased by water. It's on Battlefront Archive channel, so that's pretty cool. I'll probably have to cover that here in the future. But I want to talk a little more about Atlas right now. It's also interesting. There's a statue of Atlas in New York at the Rockefeller Center. And as you all know, there's like a massive scene in this film taking place in New York during the moon landing. Might be interesting to see if, maybe if they come across that Atlas statue there, maybe there's a scene where they're in that location and they're talking about it, which would be a pretty clever way to, tie it in and kind of have it visually there in the film. So that's pretty interesting. And another thing, oops, okay, sorry, give me a second here. I thought that this, Alright, sorry. So, I guess my slideshow had a mind of its own there. So that's Atlas, of course. I meant for the picture to be on that the whole time. I'm kind of new to this, using slideshows here. Get a little bigger for you. And so this here is the Hesperian Dragon, and this is another a bit of news that a little bit of speculation that my friend Zhao has sent me. The Hesperian Dragon was a 100-headed serpent, essentially a snake, who tormented the heavens-bearing titan Atlas. So, since Atlas seems to be important to this film, that's a pretty interesting connection there, because we all know about Indiana Jones and snakes. So that would be a pretty interesting thing for Indy to come up against. It's a little bit on the kind of video gamey side for an Indiana Jones adventure. I don't know that because an Indiana Jones movie doesn't usually have like creatures, except for Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, obviously. So that's a pretty interesting find there. I definitely would like to see what you guys think. Let me know in the comments there if you think this is something that we could be seeing in this film. Would you like to see Indy going up against a 100-headed snake? And another connection, another thing about Atlas, if we just go back to Atlas here, and this was pointed out by Jared over at the Indiana Jones spoiler group on Facebook. And Jared has pointed out a quote from Archimedes. And as you all know, there have been a lot of connections with Archimedes kind of hinted at in the production of this film. Archimedes was a brilliant inventor in Syracuse during the siege of Syracuse. I keep saying Syracuse, but I need to train myself to say Syracuse. Syracuse. Alright, so Archimedes from Syracuse. And so there's this moment in the trailer, we mentioned it before, where Atlas, the statue of Atlas is holding, the spear, and so Indy and Sonya somehow, like, they have a stick or a rope or something and manage to knock it off. And so Jared pointed out a famous quote from Archimedes: "Give me a place to stand and a give me a place to stand and a lever." Oh man. "Give me a place to stand and a lever long enough, and I will move the world." So Jared's basically been saying over there on that Facebook group that there were a few hints in the trailer that kind of back up the Archimedes theory. So it is looking more and more like our boy Archimedes is going to be involved in Indiana Jones 5 here in some way. And I'm going to use that to kind of transition into another aspect of this thing, of this Indiana Jones 5 speculation and ties with history, and that is the Antikythera device. And this is a device which was found in a shipwreck in 1901 in Greece, and this is the world's oldest analog computer, and I believe it was used for navigation, or astronomy. I haven't researched it further, but it's just the concept of it, like an analog computer, and that they created this, more than 2,000 years ago, is honestly really cool. And when I hear about this, this is one of the most exciting things I think in archaeology, and really excites me thinking about it, because archaeology is pretty awesome, but the fact that it's an ancient machine kind of makes it even more interesting, brings it to the next level, next level, man. So I had a few things to talk about actually about this Antikythera device, because there is a possible connection between Archimedes of Syracuse and the Antikythera device. So this device was created around 200 BC, which was just 12 years after the death of Archimedes, and around 200 BC, so that easily could have been a few years earlier than that. And it is known that Archimedes had built similar devices, and in fact, there was a mechanical bronze spear that showed the motions of the sun, moon, and planets as seen from Earth. This was designed and created by Archimedes, and it was a spoils of war taken to Rome. Some experts actually do believe that Archimedes did in fact build the Antikythera device. So that's this is a great find. This is actually my dad has been watching my channel a little bit and got interested in this aspect, and so he was doing a little bit of research about this. So big thank you to my dad for finding this information of, you know, maybe a connection between, well, I mean, it's experts. There are experts who have said Archimedes, they think Archimedes built the Antikythera device. So this kind of makes sense within the context of Indiana Jones 5, because we've seen both of those things kind of hinted at. And if you look here, this is, you know, the first public shoot of Harrison Ford in character. It was him and Toby Jones, and Toby was holding this thing, and we're all looking at this, and we're like, wow, is that some sort of version of the Antikythera device? And there are a lot of people who... So both my dad and also Eugene Shin, who made the poster here for me, and a few other people have been saying that they do believe that the Antikythera device is going to be the MacGuffin of the film, and that it's going to be used for time travel, which you know, we all saw some of the footage there kind of seem to emphasize that time travel is going to be involved in this film. So we're going to talk about that in a moment here, but just a few other things on the Antikythera device before we move on. Andres Mueller had an interesting point talking in the Facebook spoiler group there, and he was saying the Antikythera mechanism and the Chronos Stone are maybe going to be one and the same in this film. And we've heard a lot about Chronos is a word that's been coming up a lot in leaked or faked possible titles that we've been seeing for the last few years. So that's an interesting theory. So that this this device somehow is like the Chronos device or something, maybe. And I found a really cool video from Stanford University. This is like a 2-hour long class about the Antikythera device, and I thought it's really interesting. Actually, I'd love to. Oh, I see you guys asked me questions. So here, I'm just posting that there's a YouTube video I just posted. Just, you know, if any of you are interested, it's about the Antikythera device, and they do mention, what do you call it? They do mention Archimedes in that. So I haven't watched the whole thing, but I'll definitely check out. Okay, my favorite Indiana Jones movie. Thanks for asking. I mean, I think you have to go. I have to go with Raiders of the Lost Ark. Man, just such a perfect film. That opening scene is so good. It so wonderfully sets up the character and the world and just the tone of it all. And every second of that opening scene is just so iconic, so good. And then, I mean, the film is perfect. You know, every scene is wonderful. Marion is so good. All the characters, Paul Freeman is Belloc, tote. Everyone does a great job. Hey, what's up? Zhao is here. I was talking about some of your info there, Zhao, earlier. Yeah, definitely have to go with Raiders of the Lost Ark. But honestly, like every time I watch Temple of Doom or Last Crusade, I feel like that is my favorite. Also, like it's a testament to how good those three films are that they made in the '80s. Like any single one of them I watch, I feel like incredible film, like just wonderful. So let's just see what else anyone here has said. I'm going back a little bit. Tanner said, "What if move the world means time travel? I take it that the Nazis are trying to come to the present day, so that's that's a cool idea. Move the world because like the spin of the world." And I don't know like too much about this how it works, but like I've seen in culture and stuff like in the original Superman movie how he flies around the world to time travel. So that's an interesting thought there from Tanner. Let me see. Okay, this gameplay footage we mentioned. How much do you think we'll see Sala? I mean, for like less than 10 minutes, probably. I imagine he has like a scene that, the scene that we kind of saw parts of in the trailer, and hopefully shows up later too. Don't know. How are they going to deal with the Crystal Skulls canon, such as Indy and Mario being married, and Indy and Marion? Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's a problem. I think Marion, there was an alleged insider saying that Marion is in the film, so probably we're just gonna get. I mean, basically the amount of screen time that like Marcus Brody got in the original film, or that Charles Stanforth, I think his name, got in The Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Just like, a scene at the beginning and then at the end, probably. Let's see. Have you heard about the speculation of another trilogy, 678? For Indiana Jones, another trilogy. I haven't heard anything about that, but I would absolutely love that. I love the series. I love this franchise. I wish that we had 10 Indiana Jones movies with Harrison Ford. And if Indiana Jones 5 really is the last time that we see Ford as Indy, it's bittersweet because I'm so glad that we are getting this movie. Like, thank God. But not after this film's done, and then that's it. And then, we might not ever see Ford as Indy again. Does make me kind of sad. Ed, what do you guys think? Like how should they continue the series? Because I definitely think there should be an Indiana Jones cartoon, and that's an easy way to get more stuff with Indy. You could have a new actor play Indy, maybe do a young Indy thing. You could also continue the series with Short Round, with Helena, with Mutt. Actually, something I was kind of thinking about. So Short Round or Helena, like, are their names good enough to be like the new Indiana Jones? Because like Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, it's like powerful. And it's like if it's like Short Round and it's not. I love Short Round. but does the name work? And it occurred to me, why don't you just go back to Raiders of the... So what if you had a film that's starring Short Round, but it's like Raiders of the Peacock's Eye or something, you know? So that thought came to me. I thought I'd share it. I thought it would be an interesting way to kind of carry this thing on. Let me see. What is your least favorite movie? Well, obvious of Indiana Jones. Obviously, it's King of the Crystal Skull. There's no doubt about that. Although I like parts of it. Yeah. Let's see. Michael Wilson. What's Michael Wilson talking about? Does exist. I've seen it in a church in Belgium. The bad guys plan to clone Jesus from the bloodstain. Well, I was so much younger then. That's kind of interesting. I'm not sure what he was responding to. Apparently Frank Marshall said they're signed for 3 movies and that the last ones will be just icing on the cake. Let me just do a quick search. Frank Marshall, Indiana Jones, new trilogy. I thought Marshall had said, like, basically the Indy 5 was that. Interesting. Well, if any of you guys come across that info, do let me know, because that's pretty interesting. That source saying that there's going to be 3 more Indiana Jones films. Yeah, this thing. Okay. Let's go back to where we were. Okay, there it is. Okay, so let's go back to Antikythera device here a little bit. Oh, well, we finished that. But let me actually just finish up if there's anything in stream here. Someone's asking, could we see a movie closer to 2.5 hours? That would be pretty cool. I'd love if that's the case. It's not impossible. It could happen. Like we saw the last James Bond movie was something like that. Much longer than they usually are. Let's see, Tanner says, I could see a live action show with Helena Short Round and some other archaeology characters. Yeah, one of my subscribers, Jim Nelson, and I were talking a long time ago about, like, they should make a show where it's like the classroom of Indiana Jones, and it's about like his students. And actually, I had a kind of further idea. So this is my kind of pitch for Harrison Ford. I just want to have a show where Harrison Ford, as Indy, teaches archaeology. Like, he doesn't have to do any stunts. He just goes, gets in front of a camera, teaches archaeology for an hour, and then the last 10 minutes, like, maybe you follow one of his students on an adventure about whatever he was talking about. So I thought that would be, like, a really interesting way to get him to come back and not have to do any stunts. Because, you know, he was all like, I will not fall down for you again. So, come on, Harrison Ford, do it. We love you. Alright. Yeah, there was a rumor that she's related to Marcus. That was only mentioned one time, and we've been kind of running away with it. So we don't know how good that rumor is. But yeah, there was a rumor that Helena is a Brody. Oh yeah, Michael. I'm surprised they didn't call her Diana. You can have Diana Jones. That'll be cool. I do not think they are going to be visiting scenes from the previous films. No, that's very much Back to the Future territory. And while I love that, it's not like the fact that we're doing Indiana Jones with time travel is a little bit much as it is. So doing that very Back to the Future-esque thing, I think, is too much. Zhao said he found the link, so I'm not sure. It might not let him post it, so maybe he'll just email that to me, and I'll have to take a look at that later. So thank you for that, Zhao. That's awesome. New comic set between Raiders and Last Crusade would be fun. Oh, yes. I love Indiana Jones comics, so I definitely... And actually, I was thinking maybe I should make a video and kind of really start pushing Marvel to start making some Indiana Jones comics, because it's time. So this is like Indiana Jones Fedora. I'm not sure how clear that's coming through. It says Indiana Jones there. And I'm not sure if this was sold at Disneyland, but this was something my mom got for me for Christmas last year. So I don't know if you recognize that. If you could tell me. Let's see. Indiana Jones Headwear Collection, it says. I don't know if you guys recognize that. You could let me know if that's from Disneyland or what. Zhao says the Indiana Jones Picture Gallery tweeted it. Alright, maybe I'll take a look at that real quick. Do you think one of Sully's kids saw Indy as a role model and became an archaeologist? I mean, that could be the case. I have a script setting Indy in Hong Kong in 1967. That would be pretty cool. You've got mail. Thanks, Xiao. Let's take a look at that real quick. Here we are. Did the real producer's response? Did you read producer's response? Will we see an Indiana Jones 6? I don't know, Marshall said. When we signed up for 3 movies, so the next 2 were all icing on the cake. No, you guys. When they signed up for Raiders of the Lost Ark, the deal was to do 3 movies. That's what he's saying. And then the fact that they made Indiana Jones 4 and 5 are icing on the cake. That's what he's saying there. So that was separate from the first part of that he answered, is that he doesn't know if there's going to be an Indiana Jones 6, basically. Yeah, I wish that was the case. That would be great. Please make another trilogy. Let's see. No, I don't. I hope Indy doesn't die. Like, I'm not like a great. I'm not really big on the idea of Indy dying in a film. If it was done in a way that like had meaning, maybe, but there have just been so many films the last few years that killed off their characters. Like, all 3 of the Star Wars characters were killed off in the sequel trilogy. Iron Man was killed off. James Bond was killed off. Like, it's too much. I think if they now kill off Indy, man, it's too much. Nah, I wouldn't like it. Let's see. The Atlantic Ocean is derived from the Sea of Atlas. The name of Atlantis mentioned in Plato's Timaeus dialogue derives from Atlantis Nisos. Atlas's island. Yeah, thank you. I think Zhao had shared some of that with me, and I kind of skipped over it. But yeah, thank you for bringing that up. Yeah, so um, connection between Atlas and Atlantis, maybe. And Atlantis is something that we've been talking about a bit. Um, Hello from Greece. You must be excited because um, Indiana Jones 5 is seems to have some Greek ties, which must be pretty cool. One idea I see: what if Indy goes and lives on another time period, say ancient times? Yeah, that occurred to me too. It would be kind of cool and appropriate in a sort of Doc Brown type of way. Um, but this would require, I don't know, maybe Marion would have to have been killed before then or something, because it would be weird for Indy to go and leave Marion. I'm not sure. I mean, maybe the fact that Back to the Future already did it means that they won't do that. Okay. Let me just make sure I'm good here. Where am I? What's this one? Okay, so let me go back to some of my notes here. So as we were talking about the Antikythera device, and a lot of people are speculating that it's going to be used as a time travel MacGuffin in this film. And there was a quote on my channel. Richard Girl posted it earlier today, which I think summed it up pretty well. He says, time travel looks certain now. The plane goes into a vortex or portal, then crashes into ancient Greece. Before it does so, Indy and Helena bail out with parachutes. The set photos show all this, but how on earth do they return to their own time? That's what I'm wondering. And the plane is there to be found by puzzled archaeologists years later, unless the Nazis find it, knowing what happened. Yeah, so really well said there from Richard. I was thinking the same thing looking at that trailer, because you see Helena apparently in the World War II segment, and she goes with a motorcycle. I guess she's chasing after their plane or something. And then somehow her and Indy end up parachuting, and there's a scene where Indy seems to be like he's hanging onto a whip, but he gets like pulled off the train. So I'm not sure how that all comes together, but yeah, I was thinking something similar there, which is pretty interesting. And let's check the chat real quick. Alright, by the way, what Plato said, it's fiction. Please read the book by historian Pierre Vidal about Atlantis. No, Atlantis is not real! Aww. But within the Indiana Jones canon, it is. Yeah! Alright, Pika Fan says, do you think Lucasfilm will decanonize the Indiana Jones expanded material as they did with Star Wars, and keep only the films and maybe young Indy canon? Nah, I've thought about this a bit, because I would say they reserve the right to do that. At this point, they haven't like made a statement about that. I think if they start producing more Indiana Jones content, then you're gonna see them ignore previous expanded material. Because a lot of the great archaeological artifacts have been covered in some of the books and the comics and the games and all that. So I could definitely see that they would probably do that. But I don't know. I mean, the other possibility is maybe they actually do like what Marvel is doing, and they adapt some of those stories, like as a cartoon or a feature length cartoon or something. Are you worried about the film being Disneyfied? Yeah. I mean, probably will be to some extent, but I don't know if it bothers me too much. Hard to say without until we see it, obviously. But I mean, James Mangold's directing. I think it's gonna be good. Yeah, it's a lot to think about with all the time travel and the vortex and all this stuff. Yeah, who can say? Let me see. Do you think with how stingy entertainment is nowadays, the Indy 5 will actually have Nazis or just generic? No, I mean those are Nazis. We've seen swastikas on the train and the boxes and all that. So yeah, those are Nazis. Let's see. Yeah, Mangold is awesome. Okay, so here's another thing which was shared by Zhao. As you all saw in the trailer, there was a German aircraft, and you saw the light through the cockpit, the sort of Millennium Falcon looking cockpit, and for those who are following the pictures and the leaks from the set last year, we did see the wreckage of that airplane. And so Zhao has shared with us that the German aircraft is a Henkel HE-111 bomber. So this is a look at the cockpit of one of those, which pretty much matches the look of the what we saw in the film from the trailer this week. And here's another view from the side there. And beautiful design that kind of like takes you back to that era, and very appropriate for this movie, I think. And the fact that it like probably the Millennium Falcon was used that design as like inspiration, so that's a really cool little tie-in there. How it Lucasfilm goes back to the source here. Now, as you all know, or some of you at least, Hasbro is having a panel tomorrow for their PulseCon, which you can watch on their website. I don't have the link for that, but if you Google PulseCon, it's like a digital convention, so I'm not sure. You probably will have to pay to watch it, but I'm not sure about that. Unfortunately, I have a prior commitment, so I'm not going to be able to do a live stream during that event, but I am planning to probably do a live stream or video later that day, probably in the evening it would have to be. Yakface had reported some 6-inch figures, and there were 6 of them, and now they're telling us that wave 1 of the 6-inch figures for Indiana Jones will all be from Raiders of the Lost Ark. So it's possible we might not be getting any Indiana Jones 5 related stuff tomorrow from the Hasbro convention. So a little bit of a downer, but at the same time, the fact that they're making Indiana Jones toys again is awesome. So it looks like probably for this holiday season, they're going to be focusing on the past Indiana Jones movies, But then next year, I'm sure they're gonna roll out the Indy 5 stuff. So if you want to watch that panel tomorrow, it's gonna be at 12:30 Pacific time or 3:30 Eastern time in the afternoon, of course. And again, I'll be covering that in some way later in the day after I get home. And Zhao has also pointed out that Boyd Holbrook is going to be at the New York Comic Con, which is coming October 9th, October 6th through 9th, so in just about a week or two here. And he was speculating that they might be showing the Indiana Jones 5 trailer there, but I don't think that that's the case, personally. But definitely let me know down below if you guys think we could be seeing it at that convention. And if you do live in New York, here's your little bit of info that you can maybe go and get an autograph from an Indiana Jones cast member in Boyd Holbrook. So that would definitely be worth the trip for that. And there's a lot of other big names going to that. Let me see. I did have a list of the guests here. Like Brendan Fraser is going to be there. Christopher Lloyd, Michael J. Fox, Oscar Isaac, Sebastian Stan. So some pretty big names there. I think it would definitely be worth checking that out. And let me see here. And let me check your guys' chat here, see what's going on. Oh, there's a frame in the trailer where old Indy is next to a hangar with the same plane. Wow, I don't remember that. Okay, I'll have to check that out. That's a good find. Thank you, Zhao. Let me see. Okay. This link shows Greek art showing the potential to see the future. Not time travel, but you can see what's coming in the future. Oh, that's pretty cool. I'm excited for Mads Mikkelsen as the villain. Yeah, that's going to be awesome. I loved him in Casino Royale big time. Anything he's done has been terrific. He's such a great actor. Wonderful. Pika Fan says, "Are you excited for Willow?" So I saw the original film once, like way back when I was in high school, and yeah, I mean, I guess I'll probably watch it. Like I love Lucasfilm stuff, and I love Lord of the Rings. So I think I'll probably check it out. Yeah, which I don't go for everything. Like the new Game of Thrones show came out, and I watched like one episode, and not even one episode. I'm like, I just don't feel like dealing with the tone that these type of shows always go for. But Willow, I think, is similar enough in tone with Lord of the Rings that I can enjoy it. So yeah, I'll probably check that out. And oh, by the way, so the Lord of the Rings show, The Rings of Power, I know a lot of like hardcore fans are really like against it, but I personally like love the show. I love being in that world. Like I used to watch like the movies like over and over just to kind of be in that world because it's so fun. I think they've done a pretty good job. There were a few kind of casting choices that I was like early on. I was like, oh man, like I don't get it. Like the because like I know a lot of people are thinking about it from the perspective of like they're fans of the books and they want it to be true to that, and yes, that makes sense. But unfortunately, the way of the world is, Hollywood has their certain way of doing things, and they have to be able to take the different scenes or different events that happen and kind of rearrange them in a format that allows them to have a cohesive show. Um, and so there are some, consolations as a fan I think that you have to make in order to enjoy the show. Like you have to kind of look past like some of these things are not in the correct time period as each other or something like that. I'm not sure. I never read any of the books, so I don't know about that stuff. But and the Horrorfoots, who are kind of like the hobbits, like they're all white, but then there's like one like black guy, and like it throws you for a loop when you see him. Like, why is this like? There's just like one, like, not even like just a little like he's a black, like very black guy, and then everyone else is like super white. I think it's probably because he was the actor who gave the best performance that they were looking at. That's one of those things. Like that's probably like the one thing that's like the hardest for me to get over, is just because your your brain, it just doesn't really make sense. I don't know, but but the elf dude, like, he's awesome. I love the like intensity in his eyes, and he has like a really interesting look, and I really like that character, and I think that was some good casting, picking him. And so I watched the most recent episode last night, and I really enjoyed that episode. I don't know, maybe I can't really discuss it too much because that's like spoilers and stuff, but there were some really good moments from some of the actors that I loved. There were some like badass moments, some great scenes, some moments I was like really surprised, certain moments, and then like the last scene, I thought was really cool, but I guess that's about all the Lord of the Rings I'm going to talk about here today. Let's see, Pika Fan is saying, I've enjoyed Rings of Power. The newest episode was good, yeah. Avatar is the most elaborate marketing campaign ever. I don't know anything about that. Any chance of the trailer dropping tomorrow? I doubt it. I don't really see any reason that it would drop tomorrow, no. What's your second favorite franchise next to Indiana Jones? I think I have to go with James Bond. As you can see, Mr. Bond here. But I also love Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, Alien, Predator, Terminator. Those are probably the top 6, if that was 6 or 7 for me. Yeah, I love Star Wars big time for sure, but Indiana Jones and James Bond are pretty important to me. Watch Alienoid, a great Korean movie. Interesting. Cross between Star Wars, Back to the Future, and The Karate Kid. Whoa. That does sound pretty cool. Alright, so we have another bit of news here regarding Harrison Ford. First of all, there's been some new footage of Harrison Ford filming scenes for what's it called? 1921, I think it's called, the Yellowstone spin-off show, the new Yellowstone show. And Harrison Ford also is rumored to be the favorite to play General Ross in Marvel Studios' Thunderbolts. And General Ross is also known as Red Hulk. And I don't know too much about this, but that's pretty cool. So maybe a chance of seeing Harrison Ford in the MCU. I'd rather he just make another Indiana Jones movie, but any chance to see Mr. Ford do a new character should be pretty cool. And the thing that is funny about this is because in Indiana Jones 4 there actually is a character named General Ross. You might remember after the nuclear explosion, after he gets cleaned up and the FBI guys start talking to him, and then a general walks in and he's known as General Ross. He's played by Alan Dale? I'm not sure. But yeah, so that's just a funny little connection there. And I also wanted to give a big thank you to Bill Morrison for creating this little sketch of Indiana Jones and James Bond 007. As you guys have probably seen my poster right there. I'm working on a fan edit of Indiana Jones and the King of the Crystal Skull that basically replaces the existing side characters with Sean Connery's James Bond. And I got like the first half of this thing done months ago, and then like I stopped working on it. But I'm hoping throughout October, now that I'm not working at Staples anymore, I'm going to be devoted full time to this channel, and so that's one thing I'm going to be working on a little bit is this this fan edit of this feature film, and hopefully in November, like maybe by November 10th, I'm going to post my work in progress. So whatever I have done at that point, I'm going to post it on my channel, or at least live stream it or something. And from there, hopefully I'll work on it over time, but at least that way, I'll put it out there. And while we wait for Indiana Jones 5, you guys will have a little feature-length Indiana Jones movie that you've never seen before, that you can enjoy. I mean, even though you've seen it, but you haven't seen it because there's going to be a few changes to it. So, big thank you to Bill for that great artwork. Bill is working on an Indiana Jones comic book, Indiana Jones and the Circle of Evil, I believe it's called. And he's been posting little samples from his comic on the Indiana Jones groups on Facebook over the last year. And I'm really excited about it because, as you can probably see here, I have a lot of comics in there. I love the Indiana Jones comics. Like the comics are... I don't read novels much, so the comics are more of my thing. Obviously I love the games too, but I don't know, the comics have always been kind of the most important things to me besides the movies. So I wish Marvel would start making some Indiana Jones comics. They were doing a lot of Star Wars stuff, and they seem to be doing a pretty good job with that, I guess. I haven't delved into that very much, but it seems like they're pretty popular. So this is a great little thing for us that Bill is doing in making this comic. So I can't wait to see that. I'm not sure when it's going to be ready. Just leave that down there for now. So that's pretty much the stuff that I had written down to talk about here in the stream today. I'm hoping to do more of these live streams. Let's see what you guys are saying. I'm going to just do a quick little commercial, and then we'll take a look at what you guys are saying. Alright. And Game Boy is asking, what are your thoughts on Indiana Jones and the Staff of Kings? Great story, great set piece ideas. Could have been a top-notch Indiana Jones game, but it was really disappointing, gameplay wise, and graphics wise. It came out for the Wii, and yeah, it was pretty disappointing. Like those chase scenes, like they were like there's a chase scene where in the original trailer, like the pitch video for that game, they had a scene that it was like a San Francisco streetcar, and Indy was on top, and there were all these guys jumping on top of it and fighting with him on top of this streetcar as it's like zooming down the street. And then you get to they finally released the game, and it had been dumbed down so much, and now it's just Indy in like a cover shooter, basically, standing inside the thing, just leaning against the wall, peeking out to shoot cars that came after him. Oh man, yeah, it was really disappointing. The ending scene is awesome. A great concept. Using the Staff of Moses in a creative action scene that makes totally a lot of sense for Indiana Jones. So I loved that aspect of it. I know what's his name? He wrote many of the Indiana Jones books in the 90s. Rob McGregor. And he wrote a novel about he wrote a novelization of Indiana Jones and the Staff of Kings, but due to some sort of a mix-up, it was not published. But these days, he's been reading it on his podcast, The Mystical Underground, over the last year or so. And I haven't listened to all of them, but it's just really cool that we have that. So that's been coming out here and there, and it would make a great animated game, animated movie, or short animated episode or something. I'd love to see that. In fact, they could use real archaeology, such as one of the Orlstein or Russian archaeologists in Siberia that were really amazing. I'm not sure. Let me see. He's talking about something else. Yeah, I think if you guys try to post links, I don't think it lets you. Some people are saying that they're posting links, but I'm not seeing any. I am not Syrian. I am Persian. My dad is from Iran. My mom is American. So I'm half Persian. Now that I think of indie games, is there any news about the Bethesda game? I have not heard anything pretty much since that original announcement trailer came out. And I was sure that we would get something like at E3 this year, but or the things that were around the time of E3, but we didn't get anything in the end, unfortunately. Yeah, I'm excited about that. I think there's some great potential there with Todd Howard being involved. I'm envisioning like that it's like an open world thing, and basically the part of Raiders of the Lost Ark where they're at the dig site, I think is kind of what it would be like, or that's my idea of like ideally what a great Indiana Jones level would be, or Indiana Jones game. Is like an open world. The Nazis or whatever bad guys are doing an expedition, an archaeological expedition, and Indy's gonna crash the party, and he has all these places like he can explore little nooks and crannies everywhere, and then some places he has to go and there's like a ton of like Nazi guards and stuff, and maybe like it would be the kind of with like a Jedi Fallen Order type of style, with the like Dark Souls type of save locations with the campfires. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about that one. Jimito, is that it? Hamito says, I don't have money to go to New York, but that would be rad. Yeah. Yeah, it's not my... I don't know. Like, I wouldn't bother going all the way to New York just for that, personally, because I'm not super into that sort of thing. But just, like, if you're in New York and if you're into comics and Indiana Jones, like, that's an extra excuse to go, is to get an autograph by Boyd Holbrook. Let's see, Jow says I sent you the image. I wonder if this is the Twitter thing from earlier. I think it is. Oh, so this is... Oh, I see. Okay, yeah. So there's a... I guess, I don't know if you guys probably can't see this. Let me put it on my screen. Okay. Where is it? So here's the image that we were talking about. This is from the trailer. And this is like a hangar, and this is the airplane. And he's saying that old Indy is looking at it, which I guess is that figure? I'm not too sure. Let me turn off just the capture. I'm going to take a quick little gander at the trailer one more time. Turn that down. I'm trying to see where that moment is here. He said it's right before you see what's his name? Oh, okay, I found it. It's about right at the halfway point here. Let me see. I see some guys. I'm not seeing old Indy there, Xiao. It just looks like a bunch of Nazis walking in front of it, like they're getting ready for the big scene where there's like a chase and all that. Alright, let me go back to my chat here. Let me see. So this fifth movie has been in the making for 12 years, for 10 years. Yeah, sort of. Because George Lucas had a crazy but great idea almost 15 years ago after Indy 4 was made. But it never materialized. And I'm not sure if that kind of was the, like, a constant, or if that was thrown out long ago. I wouldn't put it past George Lucas to think about an Indiana Jones doing an Indiana Jones time travel movie, so it wouldn't surprise me. But nothing really happened the earlier part of the last decade, and then in 2016 they announced the film, and it went through several different writers, and apparently they were looking at all kinds of different MacGuffins, and people were pitching ideas and stuff, and then James Mangold got in there and came up with the story himself with his writers. So hard to say right now, but once we get the DVD in a few years, we'll probably find that out. Alright, what are your thoughts on Avatar? I'm assuming you're talking about the film Avatar with the blue people. So James Cameron is, one of the great action sci-fi filmmakers for sure. Yeah, it's a pretty awesome movie, definitely, and I'm looking forward to the next few of them. Even though, like, it made so much money, like, it's never gonna be like Star Wars or Indiana Jones for me, like, not at that level. But I mean, it deserves to be, I suppose. Like, it was a really good movie, and I think the other movies are going to be really good too. So maybe it will be a massive sci-fi series going forward. Who knows? Yeah, I remember when that movie came out, thinking like, oh yeah, they're gonna make all these sequels and it's gonna be a big thing, and then like nothing for like more than 10 years. Like, it's unbelievable to think how long ago that film was. And I mean, I don't know. I haven't researched. I don't know if they have like comic books or games or anything. If anything's been going there. I like National Geographic. Yeah, National Geographic is awesome. Alright. Oh man, I guess I got a little lost here. Alright. Warriors of the Future, a Hong Kong movie, is a copy-cut movie mixing Avatar, Iron Man, Transformers, Alien, Terminator, and Predator. Wow. Warriors of the Future. I'm just gonna save that, and 2022 film Warriors of the Future. Let me see, and there was another film you were telling me about. Give me 1 second, I'm just going through the chat, because I think someone had mentioned a movie that was like Back to the Future meets Star Wars meets something. Here we are. No. I don't know. I might have to go through that later. Alright, let me find where we are. Alright. So some of these were from a little earlier. Tanner says, I'd love Ford as Ross. What is your favorite non-Indiana Jones Spielberg movie? Jurassic Park for me. A lot of good ones though. Which is better, Star Wars Episode 2 or Episode 8? So, Attack of the Clones is the more acceptable Star Wars movie. The Last Jedi is possibly better as a film. Arguably. Alright. Thoughts on Aliens and Crystal Skull? Yeah, it didn't really work for me too much. If they had made like 10 Indiana Jones movies with Harrison Ford and one of them was that, then that would be fine. But it's like we only got a few Indiana Jones movies, and one of them was this one that just felt a little weird. I mean, it's interesting to see after Indy 5 comes out, like, to look back at Indy 4 in hindsight. But I think it's always going to be this kind of, what do you call it, redheaded stepchild of the franchise. Yeah, Tanner says Attack the Clones at least has some fun action. Favorite indie companion, and Pika Fan says his favorite indie companion is Mac. Wow, that's pretty surprising. Man, I've never heard anyone say that. Oh man. I mean, I think I have to go with Henry Sr. Because Sean Connery is so great, but I really love Short Round as an Indiana Jones sidekick. I think he's like seeing them together is just so iconic. The bond they have is just like wonderful. But Solo also is a pretty good one. And if you would consider Marion as a nominee, then Marion would be a good choice as well. Let's see. Catch Me If You Can, Jaws, and Jurassic Park are the best non-indie Spielberg films, says RJ35. Catch Me If You Can is underrated, says Tanner. Where do you find the comics at? Well, like to buy, like you probably won't find them in comic shops. So when I bought all the Indiana Jones comics about 20 years ago on eBay, like somebody just had a set and it was all of the Marvel and Dark Horse Indiana Jones comics, and I just bought the whole thing. So I'm sure eBay is probably the best place to look. If you're not looking to buy and you just want to read them, you can just Google Indiana Jones free comics online or whatever. So there's so Marvel did adaptations of the 3 films, and then they had an ongoing series which was Indiana Jones, The Further Adventures of Indiana Jones, which is also this one. Those are just 2 different issues. And then Dark Horse took over in the 90s, and I really like the Dark Horse stuff. This one right here, Spear of Destiny, is my favorite Indiana Jones comic books. I have Tomb of the Gods on here, which is like a more recent one, which I didn't think was as good, but I threw it on the poster because the cover was good. Yeah, I would definitely check out the Dark Horse comic ones. Spear of Destiny is a good one, and Iron Phoenix, I think, are my two favorite ones. Let's see. I don't like video games so much, so I'm hoping we get new books and comics, says Peak Fan. Yeah, fair enough. I'm like shocked that we haven't had any announcements about comics and books and all that. My only thought in terms of, because like Lucasfilm and Disney have been like dead silent about Indiana Jones, if you ask me. Yeah, they had a few little like things, but it seems to me like right now they don't want Indiana Jones to distract from Star Wars. So they want Star Wars, they just, for time being, Star Wars is the main thing, and they just want to focus on pushing the existing Star Wars things that they have. And at some point in the next 6 months, probably, I think then we're going to start seeing, obviously we'll get the trailer and the title, and then they'll start showing, I mean, maybe tomorrow we'll find about some of the toys, or maybe we'll have to wait on that. So we'll get news about toys. Hopefully they'll start announcing some comics and books. But man, Marvel, you need to get on it. We want them. We want those comics. Can they make the game into a movie? I mean, there's nothing stopping them, but it's not something that you usually see from like Lucasfilm and like Disney, I don't think. The only times like you see games made into movies, or it's like it was a video game franchise and they made like a movie out of it. But if it's an existing franchise, I can't really think of any examples where an existing franchise got a video game and then the video game was adapted for a film. Like the only one which didn't happen, but maybe was rumored that it would happen, was Knights of the Old Republic. The classic Star Wars game from like 2003, which would have been a cool movie, definitely. We need Rockstar to develop an Indiana Jones game. I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it at all. I don't see the Rockstar kind of formula working. Well, I guess they did Red Dead Redemption, right? So yeah, I suppose that could work. But I think this one from Bethesda probably would be good. All right. Really hoping the new Indy game is open world. Yeah, definitely. When Ford is done, Indy should be a Disney Plus animated show. Yes. Cool style anime with different time periods and sidekicks. 1925 to 1969 with short round style of Mutt, Helena, Marion, Marcus, Oxley. Hell yeah, man. That would be perfect. I love it. Yeah, I think hand-drawn animation is perfect for Indiana Jones, so that's what I would like, is some hand-drawn animation. Yes, sir, I'm Persian. Let's see. So I haven't really played the Uncharted games much, Tanner. I remember when the first one was coming out and reading about it in a magazine, I was like, man, that looks so cool. Like, I can't wait. I'm definitely going to play this. And I did play a little bit a few years ago of, I guess, the first one. Yeah, I wish I had time. Maybe that's something I should do, is that, because that's a game that I could stream. Probably it would be kind of appropriate to stream. Here's what I want. I want to play the Uncharted games, but with an Indiana Jones skin. Then I'd be happy. And then it would make perfect sense to play on this channel. Although, in any case, I'm trying to branch out, so I'm probably, there's no excuse not to play it. Now I lost my place. Alright, here we are. What do you think, a trailer or sizzle reel? Oh, wait. Did I skip anything? Hey, RJ35 says I'm half Persian. Hello, my fellow half Persian. Hamito says, by doctor's Persian, I speak Farsi. Salam. Open world will be awesome. Hi, Leak Peak. When do you think the trailer sizzle reel is going to come out officially? I've been thinking Avatar 2, maybe, but it could be when Wakanda Forever comes out. So Wakanda Forever, I think, is early November, if I'm not mistaken, and Avatar is early December. So, yeah, I think probably Avatar. Zhao was saying he thinks they're going to show it in newer Comic-Con, but I doubt it. Indiana Jones feels like half Western professor. I don't know what else. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure. Somehow movies of the 80s somehow top today's films, even though we have amazing technology. Somehow most writers today miss the mark. Yeah, dude, totally. Man, like the 80s were such a great era of like action sci-fi stuff. Like with CGI, it like gives you more options. You can do a lot more things, but I think ideally, like, you need to have a marriage of CGI and practical effects. And the other aspect which you brought up is just the writing. Because from a business perspective, it's like, why would I spend time developing something when there's like existing ideas like comic books that I can just utilize? So I think that's the way that Hollywood's kind of looking at it. And people, like for filmmaking in Hollywood, unfortunately the goal is to make money. It's a business. The goal is not really to make like art or like top-notch films anymore. It's more like, they try to do a good job, for the sake of their career, maybe not necessarily for the sake of the film. I don't know. Avatar was kind of cool. What do you think of the Expedition Unknown TV program? What is that? Let's just take a quick little gander at what that is. Exhibition Unknown, 2015 adventure, 10 seasons. Intrigued by legendary mysteries and driven by curiosity, Josh Gates is on a mission for answers. Exhibition Unknown chronicles his global adventures as he investigates iconic, unsolved events, lost cities, buried treasure. So this is, okay, documentary reality television. Okay, so this is like a documentary type of thing. Rated 8.2. That's cool. Seems pretty good. Let me know what you guys think about Expedition Unknown, if it's something you recommend. I'd never heard of it before. Opika fan says, what is your least favorite sidekick? My favorite is Marion Ursala. I mean, Mutt jumps to mind. Oh, for least favorite, yeah, or Mac or Mutt. I mean, that's an easy one. Probably Mac. Okay, yeah, he said least favorite was Mac, yeah. Marcus is my favorite, says Tanner. I really angers me how they disrespected Marcus and Crystal Skull with his statue falling down. Yeah, that's true, yeah. fans agrees. I won't really want Lucasfilm to create a new IP, but I doubt it would happen for another 3 years. Yeah, there was something. They were working on something, and it was canceled like just within the last year. Let me sit up properly here. Who do you think could take over Indy's role if Ford can't continue the series? Anthony and Gruber. That's my go-to choice here. If you don't know who Anthony and Gruber is, he is a actor who about 10-15 years ago started a YouTube channel doing impersonations. His impersonation of Harrison Ford as Han Solo got, I don't know, I think millions of hits by now. He also did one where he played both Indiana Jones and Henry Sr. And a lot of people wanted him to be in Solo, but unfortunately he was not cast for Solo. But he was cast as the young version of Harrison Ford's character in The Age of Adeline, a 2015 film, which I'd never seen, but so there is that precedent for him playing characters of Harrison Ford. So Anthony and Gruber would be my pick. Alrighty. I think there will be a short round series. People would love to see him back. Okay, so if you have a short round series, what would be the title of it? Would it just be short round? Would it be short round and the blah blah blah? Would you give him a new name somehow? Or would it be Raiders? Would it be Raiders of the blah blah blah? Let me know. Will you be streaming Hasbro plus Con for Indy? So I wanted to, but I have a prior commitment, so I will not be able to live stream. However, I'll do a stream tomorrow evening, just like summarizing all the news from that. Everything about the 80s is awesome. Yeah. RJ35 says, dude, love the channel, keeping me focused on Indy. Thanks. Thank you. Yeah, I'm really happy because obviously I get to do what I love, and at the same time, just like, you know, promoting Indiana Jones, and because I want Indiana Jones comics, so this is kind of my way of showing Disney and showing the world that there are Indiana Jones fans out there who want content. So yeah, I'm hoping in some way that me having this channel and having success with it is gonna push Disney and Marvel to create some Indiana Jones comics, and just in general, like, more Indiana Jones content. Yeah, thanks for your feedback there. There's some YouTube noobs making misleading videos about Indiana Jones 5 just to get recognition. One is Dr. Kurt Affair, just pathetic. Yeah, I, like, the first few times I saw these videos, I was like, oh my god. But, they started getting funnier for me. It's like when I see a video of his, like, I know that it's fake, so I'm kind of able to go along with it as a joke. So I like, they're not like super funny, but they're funny enough, and like the concept of it is enough that I'm able to enjoy it. The comedy aspect. Alright, Exhibition Unknown is like a real-life Indiana Jones. Highly recommended, he says. What do you think of the sequel, Star Wars Trilogy? Meh. Like, The Force Awakens was fine. It seemed like it was going in the right direction. But then... oh, man. The Last Jedi was awful. Yeah. Well, it was just, like, super disappointing. I mean, like, if it wasn't a Star Wars film and it was just that film, then it would be, you know, a passable enough film. But the fact that it's Star Wars and it kind of disrespected the characters and it just like, it ruined so much. It ruined it. Garbage, man. Yeah, it makes me mad think about it, honestly. Really mad. And the Rise of Skywalker was just a mess, in my opinion. So that's an interesting series. It was like, it was okay, and then it, yeah, man. Yeah, really disappointed about that. Honestly, I wish they had just adapted, what's it called? Heir to the Empire, the Heir to the Empire trilogy. Obviously, the actors are like, were probably way too old to do that, but I would have preferred that. Like, that's the real episode 7, 8, and 9, is the Heir to the Empire stuff. Well, not this nonsense. Alright. Have you ever been on the Indiana Jones ride at Disneyland? Yes, I have. Quite a few times. Love it. It's one of the best rides out there. Like, along with, the Rise of the Resistance is good. There's a lot of good ones at Disneyland. Universal has some Jurassic Park ones that are really good. And Indiana Jones is like one of the best rides out there, I think. Just great aesthetics, great, the lighting, explosions, all the little elements. It's a great time. So what you might not know is that in Japan at Disney Sea, they have basically it's the same Indiana Jones ride as Temple of the Forbidden Eye, but it's called Indiana Jones and the Temple of the Crystal Skull, and this predates Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. So yeah, there's another version of the Disneyland ride that has a different theme, and then there's also a roller coaster in France, the Temple of Peril, and then there's a show, of course, in Florida. But all I've ever been to is the Disneyland ride, which I love, which is very important to me. And let's see. I do know who Anthony Ingruber is. Yes. Didn't Anthony Ingruber voice the Joker? And yes, he did. Yes, in the Batman Telltale game. I'm so happy he got cast in Age of Adeline. So cool. I highly recommend Exhibition Unknown. It comes on the Discovery Channel. Josh Gates, the host, has a degree in archaeology. He's a fun guy, great sense of humor, and a huge Indy fan. Oh, great. That's definitely something I should check out then. I wonder how well Indy 5 is going to do in the box office. I know Crystal Skull made the most money. I wonder how this new movie will perform. Hopefully it does really well. Yeah. It's going to make a crap ton. Yeah, it's going to make a lot of money. I think it's going to be a big hit. I'm hoping that it's going to be the Top Gun Maverick of next year. Oh, and Tanner says, I hope it smashes the box office like how Top Gun 2 did. Yeah. I think it will. Yeah. Do you like Indiana Jones 4? I like parts of it. Yeah. I mean, overall, I've watched it many, many times because it's an Indiana Jones movie. It's Harrison Ford playing Indiana Jones. It's great music by John Williams. Marion's in it. There are some awesome scenes. The whole the first half of the movie is pretty great for me. Things kind of start to fizzle out. You have this chase scene through the jungle, which is just like heavy CGI, and it doesn't look that great, unfortunately, compared to like Raiders of the Lost Ark, which was like all practical effects. And then the sort of aliens thing. I just remember, like, the first time I saw that movie, and then walking out of the movie, and you could just feel everybody's, like, disappointment. Yeah, and so that's something I'll always kind of remember. You know, I do what I can to try to enjoy it. And, you know, I'm trying to do this version to give people hopefully a way of enjoying it in a different way. But we'll see how that goes. Alright, Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker ruined it, man. LOL, Rogue One wasn't bad. Yeah, Rogue One wasn't bad. I agree 7 was good. Honestly, I think that the 5th movie will be really good. Just like 7/7.5 IMDb rating good. But there's a chance that it will be above 8. I'm pretty sure it will be better than Crystal Skull. Yeah, I agree. Can you actually show the Indy 5 trailer? I cannot. I will get I'll get in trouble from YouTube if I show it, I'm afraid. If I were you, I would check out the description in this video down below there. Basically, you're gonna want to jump on the my Discord there and ask around there, and someone is gonna show you the goods. All right. Oh wow, it's midnight. We've been going almost 2 hours here. There is a link for the trailer. It works. I assume you mean in my Discord there. Let's just see. Andor is actually getting really good on Disney Plus. Nice. I watched the first trailer and it seemed okay. I really like that robot. I kind of groan whenever those guys in like the blue suits and all them come on. So I don't know. I've been meaning to watch it. I just like, it kind of took me a while to get through the first episode because I wasn't like super interested. Like, I'm much more interested in Rings of Power, which is a little surprising because like when Lord of the Rings came out, I was like really big on Star Wars, and I was like, what the hell is this thing? And I'm usually not into like medieval fantasy type of things, but yeah, I'm just like much more interested in Rings of Power than Andor. Yeah, I'm gonna have to. Yeah, one of my friends has been talking to me about it too. Yeah, I need to watch it because I want to be able to know what's going on and all that, and avoid the spoilers and all that stuff. Alrighty. Well, I think that's pretty good. We'll probably wrap up the stream here pretty soon. What do you guys think about my my poster here? I think it's pretty cool. Go ahead and let me know in the comments if you guys have any more questions or anything. Let me... Alright, so I'll take you through these really quick. So up there you have Treasure of the Peacock's Eye with young Indiana Jones, a movie. And this is Indiana Jones 5. And Delphi, which is a book. Let me take this off. Here's a poster for Indiana Jones Adventure, the Disneyland ride. There's Temple of Doom, Emperor's Tomb, the video game. This is Tomb of the Gods, one of the 2009 comic book. This is for the video game Fate of Atlantis. This is the video game Staff of Kings. and Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. And here's a video game, Infernal Machine. And here's Raiders of the Lost Ark, the Japanese poster, which I think is awesome. And that's the only, like, foreign poster that I selected to be on this. I think it's a special one. And here's Spear of Destiny, which is a great Dark Horse comic. Indiana Jones and the Seven Veils, which is either when Indy gets married or when the wife dies in the next book. Of course, I don't like read the books, unfortunately, like, because I don't really read books much. I like comics, but I think that's considered a good one. And here's Further Adventures of Indiana Jones. This is the first issue of this particular series that I ever got. When he's in Spain, and there's this like huge guy like running after him. And this is the first episode of the Further Adventures of Indiana Jones here. And this is Thunder in the Orient, a Dark Horse comic. And this is Indiana Jones Adventures, which was like a Indiana Jones comic from Dark Horse, like for kids. Here's Raiders of the Lost Ark. And Indiana Jones Adventure, again, same as that one. I think this is a Drew Struzan here. The Disneyland ride, of course. And then, I don't know how well you can see. Oh, my legs. Well, good thing I'm wearing shorts. Good thing I'm not going bottomless. So here's Secret of the Sphinx. Maybe I should just move this thing. You can see a little better. Secret of the Sphinx is a book, a novel, and this is one of the few fan works that made my wall here. A Young Indiana Jones 20th anniversary poster from Paul Shipper, who's a great artist within the Indiana Jones community. Also did the picture at the Raven Forum. And Fate of Atlantis, the comic book. Great cover there. And here's another one of Tomb of the Gods, the 2009 comic book. And finally, Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, Indy 4. Alright, let's see if you guys have any more questions or comments for me. Alright, so yeah, I put the poster together myself. Until today, I was working at Staples in the copy center. So that's how I printed out these posters, is there. So I put the 15 posters up. It took quite a while because a lot of them are different like dimensions. So at first I put them all in there and it didn't look that good, and then I went one by one and I arranged them so that they're all the same like size. They all kind of line up, so it looks a lot nicer now. And printed out on a gloss poster, and this is 36 inches by how big is it? I forget. Probably 50 something inches, I think. Maybe like 5 feet. Yeah, that seems about right. Yeah, so 3 feet by maybe 5 feet. Alright. I really wish Spielberg directed Indy 5, says Michael Buckley, but Mangold is a great director too. great comics cover poster. I did read the Indy 5 that the ending may kill him off. Nobody knows right now. I know like Doom Talk has been saying that it's the case, but I think most of us don't buy that. I don't think Indy will die in the movie. That's my prediction. If they do, I think I'll be disappointed. Did you enjoy your time at Staples? No joke, I work there and really like it. Yeah, it's you know, I have some coworkers that are fun working with. Overall, it wasn't too bad. I work in the copy center, and for the most of the time I was there, I was just like the closer. And usually I would come in and most of the jobs are already completed, and then I just had like a kind of smooth evening. But we've had a lot of people leave over the last year, and like the turnover's been kind of quick in the copy center. And now we had so few people that I kind of got bumped up to the day shift, and it was kind of brutal, and you know, it's just like nonstop, and it wasn't really worth it so much for me. And you get a lot of customers that are like, you know, they have their stuff they need to get done, but at the same time, I have projects that I'm expected to complete, and like you finish with a customer and then another one comes up, and I just hated it, that aspect of it. So I'm really happy about leaving, and I'm so happy that this channel took off, and you guys, with your help, I'm able to focus on this, which is doing something that I love, and it's more in my following the major that I studied, which was filmmaking. Excuse me. But I think my time at Staples did help a lot for this YouTube channel, because it taught me about producing, basically. And every day I was producing something. And you learn, you know, how to make like a system and, you know, get things done efficiently. So I think there were definitely some benefits from it. Let's see. Mito says, looking good. Where did you get it? I love one. I've got most of the comics. Oh yeah, let me see. So I'm gonna post. I should have the. Let me see. I should have the picture here. Let me find it. Let me see here. I just want to pull up the picture that I have here, because that was something that I've been meaning to do, is to get that out on the web so you guys can take a look at it. But the question is, where is it? Let me see. September 25th was the day that I did it. Okay, so it should be further down. Okay, here we are. Alright, so this is a PDF of the poster here, and it's in my Google Drive, so I'm going to post the link. Hopefully it lets me post the link. Did it work? Okay, so I posted the link, so you guys should be able to click on that if you want to save a copy of that. And let me go back. All right. I remember at Disney in Florida years ago, they had a bunch of Indiana Jones books. I wonder if they still sell them. Oh, that's pretty cool. Hopefully he will not die. Have you ever, or do you plan to interview someone who worked on Indiana Jones movies? I've been thinking about that I should like reach out to people. Back in March when we hit the 30th anniversary of the Young Indiana Jones Chronicles, I reached out to Sean Patrick Flannery and Corey Carrier, who had played young Indy, but neither of them responded. I was asking if I could interview them. But yeah, and now my channel's taking off. Hopefully somehow I can use that to secure some interviews. My good friend Michael, who sometimes live streams games on my channel here, was suggesting that I try to get an interview with Hal Barwood, who had written Fate of Atlantis and Iron Phoenix. So making some big contributions to Indiana Jones in the 90s there. Yeah, so I made that poster myself. Michael says, I got the Japanese poster that was reprinted at the 10th anniversary for Raiders by Lucasfilm in 1991. Oh, that's cool. I assume that's that poster right there. Did you ever check out that watercolor Indiana Jones with the jungle backgrounds at different scenes? Are you talking about the Robert Watts artwork? If you are, he has some great stuff. Yeah, I love his artwork of Indiana Jones. All right, we hope the soundtrack movie will be as good as Last Crusade. I remember for Crystal Skull, John Williams has composed something strange for the main theme. Yeah, I remember when I first saw Crystal Skull, I was like, I didn't think the music was as good as the originals. And I suppose that's still kind of true, but some of the themes, like the Irena's theme and the spell of the skull, have kind of grown on me. Indiana Jones is here. He says hello. He says really cool. Indiana Jones Adventure is Drew Struzan art. Yeah, that's right. What is your favorite all-time Indiana Jones action scene? Mine is the truck chase from Raiders, and yes, mine is the truck chase from Raiders as well. Awesome scene. Awesome scene. Paul Shipper is a great artist. Any word yet as to the creepy crawly things in the movie? We had snakes, bugs, rats, and soldier ants, and I'm betting either bees or cicadas. So I guess there were eels in the trailer, so a lot of people have been saying maybe eels are going to be the thing in this movie. But who knows? Before the trailer, like, a lot of people were saying bees. That seems like maybe it's the next obvious one to pick. What's the big... Oh, yes. And so this is the poster for my re-edit of Indiana Jones 4. Indiana Jones and James Bond 007. This was done by Eugene Shin, who's a member of California Jones and is active in the Indiana Jones Facebook communities. He's a great artist. He has a lot of great stuff involving Indiana Jones and also like the Disney Society of Explorers and Adventurers, which is basically like Jungle Cruise and the Adventureland type of stuff. And so as I mentioned before, I'm doing this edit of this film. I'm replacing a lot of the side characters with James Bond. I'm making a few other changes. You can see the Ark of the Covenant is there and has a much bigger role in this film than it it had no role really in Indiana Jones 4. It was just a cameo, but here it has a role. And as I said, I finished like half of it months ago, and then I stopped working on it. But now that I'm going to be focusing like full time on this channel, that's something hopefully I'm going to be working on a little bit. And by November 10th, I'm going to publish whatever I have. So it's going to be a work in progress. Some of the effects are going to look pretty bad, and I'm not sure when I'll get around to perfecting those, but there will be some sort of a work in progress, the full story. So you guys, to hold you over for Indy 5, you'll have a sort of new feature like the Indiana Jones movie that you can check out. So I'm excited to share that. I've been planning it for almost a year, and that'll be really cool. I'd love to see people's reactions when they see it. Okay. These are not 24 by 36. This is 36 inches wide. Each of those are 36 inches wide, and then it's something like 5 or 6 feet tall. As I said, I worked in the copy center at Staples, and we have basically the wide format machine. It's like a roll, and so there's one that's 24 inches and there's one of 36 inches, and so you could take your file to the 36 inches one and make it 36 inches like the short length, and make the long length whatever it would be. So that's what I did with these. So that's why these are like massive. Like, I don't know if you can see. Oh. Like, maybe if I stand like this, you can tell like how massive these posters are. All right, let's see. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's a pretty cool poster. Thanks, Michael. I had a bunch of Nazis chasing me right now, and they're getting annoying. How do I lose them? You should push them off the cliff with your truck. Indy? Alright. Haha, more shots of your legs. But he may get the eye patch from the Young Indy series. Yeah, we never knew how he lost his eye, but in the Young Indiana Jones Chronicles there were bookends with an actor named George Hall playing Indiana Jones at the age of 92, 93. They initially asked Harrison Ford to do the bookends, and he thought about it, but he decided it's not going to really do anything for his career. So unfortunately that did not happen, but he did do one bookend for History of the Blues. He filmed a little adventure as Indy, which is like a nice little treasure. So if you've never seen that, there is actually, in addition to these 5 movies, there is another time that Indiana Jones was played by Harrison Ford. It's an adventure where he goes to Wyoming. Him and his friend Grey Cloud steal a pipe that's very important to Grey Cloud's people, and they have a nice little adventure. There's some action and some nice moments, and so Mystery of the Blues. So it's like the first few minutes of that and the last like minute of that. All right. Indiana Jones Stage Spectacular is great at Disney World. I saw it last in 2010, and I filmed it. You should go to it, Kevin. It's worth it. Yeah, I should go to it, because, I mean, what if it closes one day and I never got to see it? Yeah, I should go. I went on the ride. I almost died. When I went on the ride once as a kid, like, it broke down right under the boulder. So we were like stuck, like Indy's hanging right above you and the boulder's there just spinning. And that's where we broke down. We had to get out and walk. Indiana Jones is coming right back. Hey, what's your thought on this? I don't know. I don't see anything. I don't know if he posted a link, but I don't see links. Keep asking about interviews. You will get it. You have a great channel. Thank you, Tanner. Hard to believe it's been a year since you started the channel. I think I've been watching ever since the cast was announced. Time flies. Yeah, Dinesta. Yeah, I think I remember you. Yeah. Yeah, that was almost getting close to a year and a half now. We are now in October, as of 26 minutes ago. So, yeah, about 18 months or so ish, almost. I appreciate you being with me all the time. Bum 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 dum dum dum. What's your favorite Bond movie? Tanner says mine is Skyfall. Might be The Spy Who Loved Me, I guess. Like, definitely Goldfinger, Casino Royale, and GoldenEye are, like, ones that it could possibly be. But, yeah, maybe The Spy Who Loved Me. Damn. I never really considered that The Spy Who Loved Me would be my favorite Bond film, but at this moment that I'm thinking about it, I kind of feel like maybe it's right now in my mind and my heart my favorite. Have you seen the Netflix documentary where fans recreated Raiders of the Lost Ark? I forgot the name. Yeah, Raiders an Adaptation, I think is the name of the film itself. I've never seen it or the documentary, and that's a good idea. I should check that out for sure. Thanks for reminding me. They were going to collaborate with the Jungle Cruise ride and the Indiana Jones ride at Disneyland. That's pretty cool. Yeah, because they're right next to each other. It would make sense to have some connection there. Do you see what Tarantino said about Last Crusade? He said he liked Crystal Skull better. He's nuts. Yeah, like, I kind of understand, like, his point of view, where he's coming from. To me, I think Last Crusade, like, the Sean Connery relationship with Indy and Sean Connery's performance overall is, like, what's so good about that film and what takes it to the next level. And that whole last act, the artifact is, and its connection to Henry Sr., that his life is depending on it, I think is what makes that so good. So, I don't know too much about Tarantino's personal life, but it makes me wonder, maybe if he didn't have a good relationship with his dad, then maybe he doesn't appreciate Last Crusade as much for that reason. You know, it's interesting that he thinks Crystal Skull is better. I mean, it's more like, I guess, trying to do a new thing than Last Crusade was. I mean, Last Crusade was trying to... I mean, both of them really are trying to emulate Raiders in a way, but Crystal Skull is kind of taking it in an extreme different direction. It's just the tone is similar. Yeah, I don't know. That's interesting. But, I mean, I love Last Crusade. Every time I watch it, I'm like, man, this movie exists. Oh, Sean Connery. Yeah, Sean Connery. Oh, the mic volume is low. Oh, no. I guess I probably could speak louder, or I'll just turn up my volume here. Awesome poster. Thank you, Michael. Mic volume is low. I love the young Indy episode Mystery of the Blues where he played the saxophone and had a beard. Yeah. It was, he was on a break from filming The Fugitive, is my understanding. So that's why he had that beard. Did you ever see the crossover where Han meets Indy? Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, I need to do a video about that, actually. The Indiana Jones ride always breaks down. It sure does. Yep. Even Indiana Jones agrees. What did you think of Crystal Skull? In my opinion, it's an okay film. The idea is intriguing, but the execution was nothing. Yep. Well said, sir. Very perfectly said. Yep, I agree. Happy October 1st. My favorite Bond movie is Goldfinger. Connery's Betsby. Love it. Goldfinger. Brilliant film. Did you know the original actor for Indiana Jones was Tom Selleck? Yes, I did. But he was kept away by Magnum P.I., says Michael. Yeah. Tom Selleck did get to have a few sort of Indiana Jones adventures. Maybe a year after Raiders of the Lost Ark, he made High Road to China, which I watched last year. It was alright. There were a few parts that I was like, ugh. It was an alright film. Just the fact that it's a movie made around the time of Raiders, taking place around the time that Raiders took place, and that it's Tom Selleck who was the original choice for Indy, and also Wilford Brimley, who was whose likeness was going to be used for Abner Ravenwood in a 1990s comic book, Lost Horizon, which unfortunately did not get made. Oh, which is a real tragedy. Alright, Ed says Goldfinger. Last Crusade is incredible. My two favorite actors as father and son, Connery and Ford. Last Crusade, best of the sequels. Who's your favorite bad guy in the Indiana Jones franchise? I like Belloc. I think Belloc's a good villain. Obviously, Mola Ram is great. The big mechanic is great. There's a lot of good ones. Elsa's pretty good. She's an interesting one. Oh man, Mads Mikkelsen, it's gonna be amazing. Just tuning in from Scotland. It's 8:30 a.m. How about the new John Williams 85 music he did at the concert? Sounds Marianne like pretty good. So lucky to have the big JW. Great job on poster. Thank you, Sean. It's a beautiful piece from John Williams, and we're so lucky to have him. Let me just make sure I'm in frame here. Okay. Beautiful, beautiful piece. And I think that I'm sure the music's all gonna be really good. I'm very excited about that. And yeah, thank you for the comment on the poster. Last Crusade has great heart with the father and son bonding. Yeah. Have you ever seen Blade Runner? Yes, I have. I haven't watched it like as much nearly as like the Indiana Jones or James Bond or Star Wars. But yeah, it's a pretty good film. Neon noir. Rutger Hauer is awesome in that movie. He's great. But it was never one I would go back and watch often. Selleck, oh yes, that's right, I meant to say that. Selleck also did an Indy-inspired episode of Magnum. He even wore the hat and jacket, plus used the bullwhip. Fun to see. Wasn't Admiral Ravenwood supposed to be the guy young Indy runs into Lost Crusade? Yes, but that did not happen. And then he was supposed to be in the Young Indiana Jones Chronicles Season 3, which did not happen. Yep. And then he was supposed to be in the comic book, which did not happen. So every time someone tries to represent Abner, it just falls apart. My favorite bad guy is Tote. Oh yeah, Tote's a good one. Tote's a very iconic one. Rest in peace, Amish Puri as Molaram. Such a great actor. Very scary in the role. Yeah, he was terrific in the film. I looked at his IMDb. He has like tons of movies, and that's like his only Hollywood movie. Yeah, I'm sure he's done great work in his other films as well. John Williams' piece for Indy 5 sounds like the golden age of Hollywood. Think of Cary Grant kissing Grace Kelly. Yeah, totally does. Definitely. Um, yeah, I've listened to that song over and over a few times. It's beautiful. Rest in peace, Ronald Lacey. Yep. A lot of people have been saying they think Tote is in Indiana Jones 5. Like, one person actually said that they have an inside source that says that he's in it during the World War II stuff, which the character was dead at that point. So that doesn't really seem to be the case. If you had to cast one actor in an indie movie to be a villain, who would it be? I would love Oscar Isaac. Ooh, that's a good one. I always thought Christopher Lee would be a pretty good one. Of course, he's passed away by now, but back like 20 years ago when I was really would be thinking about that, I was saying Christopher Lee, who actually was in the Young Indiana Jones Chronicles, by the way. Yeah, because Oscar Isaac. Oh, it's interesting because Oscar Isaac played Apocalypse, who looks like Ivan Ooze, who was played by Paul Freeman, who played Belloc. So, I guess it somehow seems like that justifies that he should be in an Indiana Jones movie. Blade Runner is great, way ahead of its time, one of my favorite Ford movies. Yeah. Zhao says want one, and maybe he's talking about the poster. If you could recut Smut, who would it be? Miles Teller. I think Miles Teller would be good after having seen Top Gun there. Zhao says yes. Hopefully Marvel Comics will do a new indie comic now that they've owned by Disney, since Disney owns Marvel and Indie. A Tote cameo would be interesting. Interesting. Lao She was great as a villain too. He was in so many movies, in some Bruce Lee movies too. Oh, cool! I didn't know that. Oh man, I watched. Ronald Lacey was in Last Crusade. Yeah, that's right. During the book burning scene, I watched Kentucky Fried Movie the other night, which is like a like predecessor to, like, I guess Airplane and Naked Gun and all those type of movies. And like a huge chunk of the movie is like a parody of Enter the Dragon, but it's not really a parody. It's just like, it seems like it's just a like serious martial arts film. Like, it's not really funny. Like, there's just a few little moments that there's jokes. But I was kind of surprised because it was not what I was expecting. Let me do a little commercial here. Alright, this one says, I wish Mutt and Indy had more time in the movie. The father-son reveal was too late. Interesting. Alright, so more time of them bonding in the film in order to like develop their bond. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. In Enter the Dragon, Lao Che actor plays the master in the orange outfit. I forget his name. He's in another movie with him also. Oh, that's pretty cool. No. Roy Xiao. Yeah, that's right. I've seen that name before. Let's see. All right. Well, we've gone for like 2.5 hours here. It's been pretty fun. And, yeah, we've had a good, almost 20 people the whole time, which has been pretty good. I'm so glad you guys joined me. It was a lot of fun. It was a great week. amazing week. I had a blast on Wednesday when we did that live stream. Hopefully you guys will, if you look in in the video description here, you'll see my Discord. So be sure you join the Discord there, and we can chat about Indiana Jones, and feel free to let me know, in the comments of my videos, or email me, or on my Discord, like any theories, or any research that you've done involving Indiana Jones 5. Like, Zhao has sent me things every once in a while, like little findings about Indy 5, or like historical research that kind of correlates. So yeah, dude, let me know anything that you find. Let's see, do more of these. Thank you, Tanner. Yeah, I will. I appreciate you for saying that. So yeah, we're definitely gonna do more of these. So tomorrow at 12:30 Pacific time is, like, Hasbro is having a panel showing their action figures, which we think are mostly going to be like about the old movies. Maybe they might not really touch on Indiana Jones 5 too much tomorrow, but I am going to cover whatever they show, but not live, unfortunately, because I have a prior commitment. But tomorrow evening, when I get home, I'm going to take a look at all of that, and I'll jump on and we'll do another live stream. But yeah, and I had fun tonight too. This is definitely something that I'll try to keep doing in the future, because it's a lot of fun, and it's good for my channel, and interacting with you guys is awesome. Alright, greetings from the UK, Kevin. Hello, Kirk. Hold on to your potatoes, says Indy. Still can't get over the trailer. Oh man, so good. So good. Wonderful trailer. Let me know in the comments, how many times have you guys seen the trailer? I've probably watched it, I mean, at least 10 times, which is actually pretty low, I think, to call myself an Indiana Jones nerd. Yeah, maybe 15 times I've seen it. Because I've been, like, after I saw the trailer, well, I watched the trailer and I was doing the live stream, so I never really got a chance to just watch it over and over and over. I've just been so busy. Great chat. I'm a huge Indy fan. I keep following your channel. Thank you, Michael. Indy says no problem. Tanner says, Sala saying, I miss the desert, just took me back. Yeah. What's the supposed title again? Well, there was a rumor this week that it was Indiana Jones and the Power of the CB, maybe? Somebody said that Power OTCB, basically, is what they said. But, not sure. Amrish Puri was in Gandhi as President Adab. Oh, okay. That makes sense that he was cast then. I hope you get Patrick Flannery on your podcast. That would be awesome, yeah. I actually wish he was in the movie too, if they shot younger scenes. Yeah. I think that would be really cool to get Sean Patrick Flannery. If I get a situation where like I can get Sean Patrick Flannery like in person to meet for an interview, I'll definitely have him put on an Indiana Jones hat and, maybe do a little scene like pretending that he's Indiana Jones. That would be cool. You should do more of these. It's a great hour for me, actually, says Joe. Oh, okay, cool. I was planning to do them more kind of in the morning, but maybe, yeah, if it works. maybe I'll probably experiment, do them at different times, and see like what gets the most views. All right, Tanner's seen it 10 times. Jal said 30 times. Love it. Ed says 3 times. Jal says 30 times frame by frame. Love it. I've not watched the trailer yet, but I will soon, says Michael. Yeah, if you're looking for a copy, check out my Discord in the description, and you should be able to find one. How much do you think we see in flashbacks? I'm not sure 100% what the question is. I think the opening, like half an hour or 20 minutes or something, probably half an hour, is going to be in World War II. But then we see Helena in... Man, I don't even know. But yeah, in any case, 20-30 minutes during World War II, and 30 minutes, 20-30, well, it depends how long the film, but yeah, 20-30 minutes in ancient Syracuse if they're time traveling there, which we don't know for sure yet. I've heard conflicting things. I've not. Okay. Indiana Jones and the Power of the Chronos book. That's my guess, says Tanner. What's your favorite small role in the Indiana Jones franchise? I love Jock. I love the Dan Aykroyd character. Weber comes to mind, but yeah, Jock. Definitely Jock. Least favorite Indy sequence. Well, it's obviously going to be something from Crystal Skull. It's just a question of, is it the monkeys or is it seeing the alien? I don't know. One of the two. The Power of the Chrome Bell. It was reported that the canceled season of Young Indy there was going to show a young Marion and Belloc. Nice. I knew about Belloc, that he's in 2 episodes. There was an episode that was also going to have Abner Ravenwood, and I imagine Marion... Oh, was she even alive, though? She may have been not born or just born. The power of the cheeseburger! Michael will check the Discord for the trailer. Yep, my pleasure. Tanner said, I rewatched your video where you released a couple months ago predicting the movie, and after seeing the trailer, it matches up super well. Oh, cool, perfect. Thanks for that. Yeah, that was a fun video to make. But I need to update it, I think, because a few of my thoughts have changed. Before that video, I was thinking Morocco was before Sicily, but then I was looking at one scene and I was like, oh, maybe not, and then I switched it. But now I do think Morocco probably will be before Sicily. I think the Sicily film will be like the later half, and then if there's time travel, that'll be like the climax, maybe. Let's see. Let's see. Where am I? Young Indy looks so good. I was man. He looked. That was Harrison Ford. Like that was like early '90s Harrison Ford. Yeah, like we've been hearing all this time, and then you see it, and like damn, like that's the real thing. Alfred Molina as Stepito is great. Yes, he's terrific. And I also love his Fiddler on the Roof song as Dr. Octopus. That's another performance I like. The guy with the eye patch and the monkey is a good small role. Yeah. He was... I believe that actor is the same one who played the other character from the opening scene. Because there was Indy and Sapito, and then there was another one, and I'm not sure. One of his two characters was Baranka. I think the one with the monkey was Baranka, maybe. But yeah, he was in the opening scene. He's the one who tries to shoot Indy. Chosen Nightfall says, I've only seen it once. The power of the sea bee. Yeah? Already talked about the references to previous movies. No, we haven't. Yeah, I don't know if that was you. Someone suggested I should do a video about what references the films will make to the previous movies. I mean, obviously the like the Ark has been referenced. It was a painting was shown in Last Crusade, and then we see the Ark itself, like just a little part of it, in Indy 4. So it'll be interesting to see, what sort of references, if there's going to be any references to past artifacts in this new movie here. Pat Roach played the big German and the big Thuggee, and he also played the big Sherpa in the Raven scene, and he also played a Gestapo agent who accompanies Vogel onto the Zeppelin in Last Crusade. Unfortunately, there was a fight scene between him and Indy on the Zeppelin, which was cut, I guess. So, and man, why don't they release the deleted scenes? Come on. Like, in theory, somewhere there's footage of, Harrison Ford fighting another Pat Roach guy that we never got to see. Yeah. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. If you're a Scottish Lord, then I am Mickey Mouse. Yeah. You can see the stones from Temple on a white board in Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. I did not know that. That's pretty cool. Hey, well, it's about 1 in the a.m. here, so I think it's about time for me to wrap it up. I appreciate you guys so much for joining me. We had a fun time on this chat. We'll definitely be sure to do a few more of these. Yeah, I like that the Nazis are the villains again. I wanted, before Indy 4 was made, I wanted the next Indiana Jones movie to be with Nazis again, because those are like the best villains. And now that we're getting them in Indy 5, I'm really happy about that. The fight scene is being guarded by top men. Yeah, that's right. Yep, thank you guys. Yeah, it was fun. So tomorrow night we'll do another stream, and we'll be reacting to the Hasbro stuff. So be sure to tune in for that. Thank you all so much, as always, and I wish you all fortune and glory. Bye-bye now.